as well as your mom, all the way from Santa Monica. That's not so bad. It's so nice to see everybody. Yeah. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We're going to, we have kind of a special night, as you know, because it is not only Shabbat, it is also Chag. It is the end of Sukkot, the holiday of Simchat Torah. It is quite a challenge to make Simchat Torah when you have to do it on a Zoom screen. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but hey, I promise you this. We're going to get Israeli dancing like we always do. We're going to get the end of the book of Deuteronomy like we always do. We're going to get the beginning of the book of Genesis like we always do. And we're going to get a joyful service like we always do. And Shira Samuel Schrag, coming to us from great distances, will be a part of celebrating all that. It's an incredible, incredible thing, along with all the rest of you. And so, with that in mind, let us celebrate simply our being together with one another. How good, how pleasant it is for us to be together on this evening of festival and Shabbat. Please join with me. Hine ma tov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. That's all there is to it. Try it with me. Hine ma tov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Repeat after me. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine ma tov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Sheverachim, sheverachim gam yachad. I want to see every voice singing. Sheverachim gam yachad.
We are so happy to be together on this Shabbat to celebrate the joy of Torah.
There's you.
And yes, there is you, Shifra. And Shifra's going to help me. We are going to light our Shabbat candles. So if everyone wants to go get their own Shabbat candles in their home, you can help us light them. Shifra's going to get a match, but I think Mama should probably light them. What do you think?
A match.
Okay, you get and I'll light it. Good idea.
She's getting a match.
You're right.
She's getting a match reputation.
Yeah, but she's doing it really carefully. You can trust Ima to do that. She's going to do that real carefully, I can promise you.
Okay, ready? You ready to help me? What do we do? 1, 2, 3. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
V'shel Yom Tov.
V'shel
Lehadlik ner shel Shabbat v'shel Yom Tov. You know, the custom on the evening of Chag is that after you light the candles, immediately after you light the candles, you give thanks for the gift of the moment. We are sharing together a moment that we'll always remember, having made Simchat Torah in the most unusual way ever known to humankind. And so, with gratitude for being alive and sustained, so that we might be together on this one-of-a-kind Simchat Torah evening, we sing, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Amen. Big one, amen. to join in giving thanks for the gift of family. Some of us are blessed. Some of us were once blessed to have a sweet little cherub like that on our knee, like Rabbi Bernie. I'm looking at that and I'm like, those were good times. Those were like really good times. If I tried to put my 23-year-old on my knee like that, it would not go well. Actually, any of my kids would not go well. But hey, that's a great look right there. So for those who are able to do that, and there's a bunch of you here tonight who are able to do that, draw your children physically close at a time when we're so physically separated, placing hands upon heads or hands in hands or arms around shoulders or whatever it is that enables you to physically bestow blessing upon your loved ones. This is going to be a chance for doing just that. And so too is it an opportunity for the rest of us who are thinking of loved ones who may not be right here on our knee or even right next to us, but who are here in our hearts, who are here in our lives, who are here in our memories, who are here as a part of our community, creating a family of families. All of this is Birkat HaMishpacha, a blessing of family life. And so we're going to join together the online prayer book. If you click at the temple's website, leobektemple.org/live, that's the live stream page of our website. There is a link to go to our Friday night prayer book, our Shabbat evening prayer book. You can click on that, and there you will find on the third page of the online prayer book the words for our Birkat HaMishpacha, our parents' prayer. Please let's join together in giving thanks for the gift of love that we are all sharing together. Here with you beside me, I feel so greatly blessed. This moment means much more than I can say. A time to be together, a time for us to rest. Shabbat is here, the time has come to celebrate the day. So I hold you close, my hands upon your head. And from me to you, my child, these words are said. Yisimcha Elohim, Ke'Ephraim v'chim Nashem. May God give you life and strength like Joseph's son. Yisimech Elohim, Kasara Rivka, Rachel v'Leah. May God make you like our mothers, like our blessed ones. As I watch you growing, I smile through my tears. Sometimes I wish you'd stay forever small. But then I see you blossom, and I befriend the passing years. I love you now, I love you then, I love to see it all. So I lift my voice to offer you this prayer. For every step along the road, I will be there. Yisimcha Elohim, Ephraim v'chim Nashem. May God give you life and strength like Joseph's sons. Yisimech Elohim, Kasara Rivka, Rachel v'Leah. May God make you like our mothers, like our blessed ones. May God make you like our parents, like our blessed ones.
Shabbat Shalom. As we transition from the week of doing, of work, of working with our hands to a time of rest, we also bring in the sweetness of the kind of alchemy of our work life, which is represented in the wine, where we take a grape and we transform it into something delicious, be it grape juice or wine or whatever is in your glass tonight. And it's a way that we bring a little bit of extra joy into Shabbat. And this is like a double joy, because we're transitioning from Sukkot into Simchat Torah, our time of happy Torahness, which we'll talk more about tonight in tonight's service. So invite you to rise and lift your cup and to just feel if there is some bit of sweetness from the week that you want to bring into this Shabbat.
The very next page in the online prayer book for those who wish to follow along in the words. Please join in singing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzav banu v'shabbat באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת ואת הזמנים. לחיים.
לחיים, יישר כוח, Rabbi Jason. We now prepare for our motzi to do a blessing on a little bit of challah, or really anything that you have nearby. When I think about challah, I think about what it means to be in the wilderness and to have nourishment come to you. You have to get into that pattern. The Israelites had to get into the pattern of receiving manna, and we receive manna in all different ways. We receive nourishment in all different ways. And this week, I had two dear friends come to my house for a picnic to have a socially distant dinner, and they brought me pumpernickel studded with raisins. And I'm lifting this up for my challah today. And there might be something from this week that you were nourished by, and you could just kind of lift that up either literally or figuratively, and let us join together for the words of the motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Rabbi Ross. This is the best part, right? So you might think,
now.
We're going to eat it now, but you might think that motzi and challah is the best part of the night, but actually the best part of tonight is Lior. We are so happy to have Dancing Lior back with us. She leads Israeli dancing all over Los Angeles, and we're very lucky that she also does it with our religious school and our temple community. And we are all going to get a taste of that joy when we're all... Rabbi will also come back. We're going to get a taste of that joy, thank you, my sidekick here, that we all have when we are in the social hall dancing with the Torahs. We're going to get to have that right now with our dancing over Zoom. And no, we have not danced over Zoom yet, but I assured Lior that this was the most fun community and that everyone is going to get up and explode our little Zoom boxes with our movement. So
I already know that this is the most fun community.
You already knew that. Iris is dancing, Rabbi Chasen's dancing, Shir is dancing, we're going to dance. And so we just want to invite you to let loose a little bit. It's been a tough week. I think we could all dance it out. So in honor of Torah, Lior, will you lead us in some fabulous dancing?
I would love to, but I'm going to start by moving my chair, first of all, and say that I'm so happy to see so many familiar faces and some faces that I see less throughout the year. For Simchat Torah, dancing is actually a mitzvah, right? We get to celebrate that we have finished reading the Torah and that we are starting a new cycle. And dancing is known to be as a mitzvah, and especially in a time like the times we've had in the last month. It is a great time to celebrate our unity and our togetherness as a people through dancing. So I'm going to start by, let's see if I can see you all. This is the first actual event that we're having at Liobek Temple where I'm leading dancing like this. So it's very exciting. I'm going to start by inviting you guys to stand up. Even if you don't have that much room around you, you can try and kind of dance, like make a little virtual kind of circle. Right, we're going to start with a few dances that are usually done as circle dances. I'm hoping that most of you are familiar with them, and if you are not, they have very, very simple steps. I'm going to do one thing that I should have thought about earlier, but it's simple enough. This is going to be the center of my circle, this beautiful blue bag right here. And so that way you will know that when I'm facing this way, that's the center of my circle. And when I'm facing that way, my left shoulder is to the center of the circle. Can you see my bag? You can almost see it. There we go. And we're going to start with a very simple dance. It's called Mime Besason. It celebrates abundance of water and wishes for water around the world, originally in Israel, where it's a desert. And let's give it a try. I'm going to split my screen. It's all very high tech and we're still learning how to do this, but it's great. I'm going to split my screen so I can play music for you while I dance. Here we are. Mime Besason. Let's see how it is. All right. Can we hear the music? Thumbs up if you can hear the music. Thumbs up if you can hear the music. You can't. I know why you can't. Here it is. Here it is. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. But you're going to be able to hear the music right now.
We're so glad you asked.
You can hear the music, right? All right, so we're going to face... Here we are. We're going to face the center of our circle, and we're going to start with our right foot going to the left. Like this. That's the Mime Besason. We're going to walk in and out. And in and top. And out one more time. In and top. And out. Now jump in place. Right foot and left foot and clap at the same time. That's the whole dance, and it repeats. My nose. All right, I love seeing you guys dancing. Mime, go! And out and again. In and out. Right and very 4 times. Very, right foot. And left over the top. One last time. Mime, go. Mime, Besason, mimane Yeshua. Mime Besason, mimane Yeshua. Mime, and again. Hey, jumping place, hey, right foot, right? And thinking with the left and top at the same time. Alright, that's beautiful, guys. Wow, it's so heartwarming to see all of you guys. Was the sound okay? Thumbs up if sound was okay. You could hear me and the music? Alright, looks good. We're gonna continue with another dance. It's called Betka Kafrit. And at our Hebrew school, we also call it the Liobek Temple dance. So if we have any Hebrew school students here, that's how they know this dance. Betka Kafrit. We're going to stomp our left foot. It's very simple. Stomp your left, right foot, and then go in together, out together, in together, out together, in and out. Walk around the circle, in and out, slide inside like this. What's the best tempo? Liobek tempo. I can't hear you. Liobek tempo. There we go. From the beginning, go in and out. Very simple. Yes. In and out. All right, now slide inside. Go. What's the best tempo? Liobek tempo. From the beginning, hold hands if you're next to somebody. In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Right, inside, good. What's the best tempo? Your best tempo. Alright. Those of you who are dancing, look so great. I love it. Alright. We're gonna do one more dance. That's circle dance, and then we're going to take a couple of short line dances that we do at school, that we do at Leo Beck Temple as a community all the time. The next circle dance is called Od Lo Ahavti Dai, which means I haven't loved enough. It's a classic. Here it goes. Can you hear me? You can hear me, right? We're going to start with a 9-9. 9. Rock forward and back. It's called the stretch. Yeah, it's the feet. Again, hold hands if you're next to somebody, forward and back. And go in and out of the circle, in and tap and out, and slide to the right, and turn to the right. It repeats. So again, we go in and out, slide to the right, and turn to the right. From the beginning, 9. And take the feet forward and back. Forward one more time we go. 9. And 9. Forward and back. Forward and back. In and out. Go. And let our have to sit up to the right and turn. And one more time with the right. Inside and out. And to the right, and turn to the right. One more time from the beginning. 9. Forward and back, with the feet up. You guys look so good. Nice. Forward and back, with the feet up. And one more time, go. Up, to the right, and turn to the right. And one more time. To the right, and turn. Oh, guys, give yourselves a round of applause. Give yourselves a round of applause. Wow, you guys look so great. I absolutely love it. The next dance is called Le'olam Be'ikvot Hashemesh, also just known as Shemesh, which means, what does it mean in Hebrew? For my students who I see on a weekly basis during the year, that's right, it means sun, right? It means sun. Super simple, any age person can do it. Le'olam Be'ikvot Hashemesh. Great. I'm going to face you. I'm going to be near you. It's a line dance. We're going to start with the left to the right. You're for me. I'll do it. 1.
אנחנו עם השמש בארון, יום טהור, היה לנו ליל אמש בוקר כאן, מול הים, אי שם, נכנס היום בשער וחגול, את אלון, ניחו באור השחר, כן, 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 לעולם בעקבות השמש, לעולם בעקבות האור, השמש היום יום תמיד, יום תמיד, הלכנו עם השמש בארון, יום טהור, טוב, היה לנו ליל בדם, כל מדם, לא נדם, הרוח שבתכלת לא שלם, עוד ערב, כל זורם, ישר אל סך הדלת, כן, 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 לעולם בעקבות השמש, לעולם בעקבות האור, השמש ששומעים לו שמש, לעולם בעקבות השמש, לעולם בעקבות האור, השמש ששומעים לו שמש, בליבי תיכון.
look fantastic, and it's just so heartwarming to see the whole community dancing at home on my screen. Amazing. One, I think last dance, unless we'll have one more, I guess they'll let me know. This dance is called Neshika Turkish, which means Turkish kiss. Very, very popular in Israeli dance sessions all over the world. One of the wonderful things about Israeli dance is that we do the same exact dances anywhere that you go Israeli dancing in the world. So the dances you're learning right here with me right now are dances you can do anywhere in the world, not only in Israel, but in London, Australia, China, Japan, anywhere in the United States. Amazing. Amazing. Is it a little too loud? Are we good with sound? All right. We can somebody clap your hands, guys. Let's clap our hands. All right. We're going to start with the right foot to the right. We go 1 and 2, then open and close, and then we go hot water to the right. Open, close. Chakra to the right. Chop, 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 and hop, hop. And chop it back forward. Chop, chop. Take it back, go. Kick, kick, kick. Kick now, raise the roof. Go, raise the roof. That's very good. Oh, guys, absolutely rock. Down on it, and lift it to the side. Raise the roof. Just go again. And very down. You go forward and go. On the feet first. Go back. Go forward. Cross and turn to the left. And one more time. Go back. Go forward. And turn to the left. From the beginning to the right. That's the whole thing. Open close. Whole open cold water. And one more time. Hot water, cold water. Chop, 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 and chop. And hot, forward, chop, chop. Take it back, take it back. Hot, hot, kick, kick. And lift, raise the roof and go. Raise the roof. Let's go again. All right. And then down. Again, raise the roof. Let's go. Let's go. Both hands. All the way down. All right. Amazing. You guys look so fantastic. Do we have time for one more dance? Are we?
One last dance, One more.
One more dance. One more dance. One more dance.
Here's a dance we do very often at our Hebrew school at Leo Beck. It's called O, which means light, which is almost everything that I can wish myself for the year to come. Light in all aspects of life, in all aspects of the world. It's a very modern song. It was choreographed just in the last a little over a decade. Here we go. This one is a little louder, I know. Good sound? Good sound. Forward and back. And back. And forward. And back. Wow, guys. This was so much fun. I'm going to do it again next week.
Thank you so much, Lior.
Thank you. Chag Sameach, everybody.
Chag
Can't wait
Sameach.
to actually
Go like
dance
this to
together in the
Lior.
halls again. That's cool. At the temple.
We look forward to seeing you soon, Lior.
Bye,
You
guys.
gotta switch to gallery view and let everybody give you some love with their hands right now.
I'm
This
in
is
gallery
who you
view.
are, everybody.
Giving you love back. Oh.
So great. Oh my God, that's wonderful. I got my exercise in. I was a little worried about today, but that fixed it.
I know, I haven't had that much fun or schwitzt that much in a very long time. Well, the fun of Torah and of this holiday is going to continue with our Kabbalat Shabbat service. We begin our service with words of praise and words of joy, really continuing that feeling that we are all experiencing right now. And so we hope that you will join us. We are going to be on page 20 through 21 in the online prayer book. And we will be doing verses 1 to Oh, Lior, you have to stop sharing your computer sound. We'll be doing verses, welcome to the sacred and the profane in the Zoom world. We will be doing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And we hope that just as you are filling your screens with your movements and your dancing, that you will so too do so with your voices. Please join us.
Lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nikabela Lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nikabela Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Ishmi'anu el ha'miyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shem u'tiferet לתהילה Lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nikabela Lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nikabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה. You know, I see that some of you have continued with the dancing while the Chadodi is going on. There is no rule against that. In fact, it is encouraged because the Chadodi is supposed to be the story of a cosmic wedding between the Jewish people and God. And I don't know about you, but I always dance like crazy at a wedding. This is our wedding, folks. Sing and dance. Top of 21. Hitoreri, hitoreri. Ibaore kumiori. Uri uri shidaberi. Kivod Adonai alai higla. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Chadodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela. We're at the bottom of page 21. If you're not already standing and dancing, I invite you to stand up and to face toward the entrance, whatever entrance into the room that you are in, and let us see her, Shabbat the bride, arriving with love and joy. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני העם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat mikabela. 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 You know, we don't usually give out awards during Shabbat services at Leobek Temple, but tonight, a special award is being given out as we transition from Lecha Dodi and the Kabbalat Shabbat Psalms into Baruch Hu in the center core of our worship service. I would like to award the most joyful dancing of Lecha Dodi that I've ever seen in my entire career to the Lopez de Hulse family. Yes, you win. I don't have a prize. I can't even give you an ice cream like I ordinarily would if we were all together at the temple. But I want you to know, we're seeing it, we're feeling it, we're loving it. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach to you guys. And we are on page 28 of the online prayer book. A couple of you were asking how to get to the online prayer book. It is at our temple website. And I saw that Netta Black, God bless her, placed the link into our chat. So if you just click on the link that Netta placed in the chat, you will be at the online prayer book, and you just follow the page numbers that we give you at the bottom of the pages. You will be in business. And there it is again. So Hasani just placed it there for you as well. Please click, and you'll be able to find the words alongside this screen as well. We're on page 28. La 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 la. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Barechu et Adonai Hamevora Baruch Adonai Hamevora Hamevora Leolam Ba'ed Hamevora Hamevora Leolam Ba'ed.
Words to prepare us for Shema by Rabbi Richard Levy. You were God, and we were Israel, God alone and a lonely people long ago. You loved us a great love, and you taught us how to respond to you through mitzvot, recollections, celebrations, and Torah. They are the light of our eyes, the uniqueness of our being. In the joy of them, you have drawn us close to you. In the truth of them, we have discovered you, the only one. We are together still. You respond to every people in your chosen way. With your love, you have chosen to respond to us. With our love, we offer you praise.
Page 34. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. We're on page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך. וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
I heard an interview of Gloria Steinem, the great feminist and social justice advocate, and she said, I'm often asked if I'll be passing the torch onto someone else. I say no, I won't be passing it on. I'm using it to light the torches of others. The idea that there's only one torch is part of the problem. And I love that image, especially of someone who has been carrying the torch for so long that her work is not to hand it off, it's just to light other torches. And so it is on Simchat Torah that each of us carry our own Torah into the world. And it's not that we pass it on to someone else, it's that we are helping people find their own way to carry Torah. And in that, that is where the light emerges, and that is where our joy emerges. And so when we sing Mi Chamocha, that is the joy that we are tapping into. We're tapping into that joy of the possibility of liberation, of carrying Torah into the wilderness, not just the one Torah, the many faces of Torah that exist. So let us join together, join our lights together in singing Mi Chamocha on page 40.
מי כמוך באלים אדון, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדון, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. תורת זהילות אוסף בלב, תורת זהילות אוסף בלב, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ראו בניך, חוקי הים לבני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יאללה לה sing, יאללה לה לה, יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה יאללה לה, יאללה יאללה לה, יאללה יאללה לה, יאללה יאללה לה, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. On the supplemental page in the online prayer book right after Mi Chamocha, which was page 40, you will find the words of our nighttime prayer Hashkevenu, which summons for us the image of Sukkot, this season of the year. Ufros Alainu Sukkot Shlomecha. We ask God to spread a shelter of peace, a sukkah of peace over us. The holiday creates the metaphor. We're the ones who have to create that world. Please join with me. Hashkevenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, L'shalom, V'ha'amidenu Malkeinu L'chaim. Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings. Shelter us beneath thy wings. Oh Adonai, guard us from all harmful things. Oh Adonai, keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Let's just see it near us. Amen. 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 If you'll turn to page 46 for our Amidah. If you're able, I'll invite you to stand at this time. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Ve'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Koneh Hakol V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Geula Livnei Bneihem L'man Shemo Be'ava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai Mechayei HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia Mashiva Ruach U'Morid HaGashem Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Nishenei Afar Micha Mocha Baal Gevurot Umido Menach Melech Memit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua ונאמנת לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום, יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Our Amidah continues in silence through page 62 of the online prayer book. It's an opportunity to reach into the riches of the prayer book, or maybe the riches that reside right here, deep within, mind, soul, heart. As we spend a little time in quiet prayer and reflection, you can feel free to remain standing or to be seated whenever you're ready. Pray to God, Oseh Shalom, Bimromav, the one who makes peace in high, inspiring places, to inspire us to be Oseh Shalom, makers of peace in a world that is not so inspiring at the moment. But we have the ability to transform this world, to transform our lives and one another, to bring inspiration and shalom. Peace. First, we'll sing about it. And then when Shabbat is over and we've rested and reflected on it, we'll be ready to head back into the world at this very consequential time and be Oseh Shalom, makers of peace. Page 62. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, Shalom Alainu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom Alainu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom Alainu ve'al kol Yisrael.
One of the great honors of this time, which can feel a little daunting, is during this period, because we're not at the temple and we're trying to figure out how do we operate as a community. I've had the honor of having a Torah in my home. This is our Minyan Torah, and I don't have my own personal Torah. So this is to have the honor and responsibility of holding the temple's Torah has felt like a really big deal for me and for Liz, maybe a little bit less so for the kids, but a little bit, I think a little bit for the kids. And this day is really about honoring Torah and the joy that it brings into our lives. And I think we've probably, I'll say in my lifetime at least, been really challenged to figure out how to be Jewish in this moment, how to honor the Torah that has come before us, how to carry the torch of Torah forward, and to do that in a communal way. And so today we read the last 3 verses of Deuteronomy, the last 3 verses of the Torah. And then we'll, after that, we'll be reading the first couple of verses of Beresheit, of Genesis. And that is one way that we honor Simchat Torah, that we honor the joy that Torah creates in our life and that we are creators of as we carry Torah into the world. And one way that we've done that as a community during this time is with the Great Big Bridging Project, which we had almost 200 people contribute their artistry, their interpretation, their meaning making of this time. And then it was woven together in a communal sculpture. And there was a team that kind of incubated and helped to launch the Great Big Bridging Project and Bubble Up. And that team consisted of Kathy Leader, Winifred Neisser, Scott Greenberg, Jennifer Baranoff, Tony Michaels, Eric Stockel, Rachel Kennison, and the architect, literally the architect, and the architect of this was Dick Hutman, a longtime member of our community, who kind of created the actual modeling of what this looks like. It's something that he works with and offered to our community. So we are inviting everybody who participated in the Great Big Bridging Project to rise for this blessing. I don't know if it's on page 250. I don't know if it's in the Shabbat book or if it's only in the Minyan one, but we might be able to find it somewhere and put it up there. But if not, you know what? Dick Hutman's going to do it for you, and you can just amen Dick Hutman, which is pretty sweet. So the last thing I just wanted to say is what it says here is that at the end of the Torah, there's a moment of sadness because this is Moses' last moment. Moses goes to the mountaintop and looks out into the promised land. But it says that Moses, he sees signs and wonders. And if you've had any opportunity to see the Great Big Bridging Project, you know that we've all had that opportunity to see signs and wonders of interpreting the divine in our very presence. So I'm very excited to invite up Dick Hutman to do the blessing. And we are so blessed to have Andrea Sussman, who is going to be reading Torah, who really moves through the world with such a sweet neshama, a sweet heart of Torah and love. And so honored to have her read Torah. I'm going to just quickly take off this Torah cover so you can see that we are at the very, very end of just reading the very end here of Deuteronomy. So I invite Dick, if you haven't already, you can unmute yourself. Give me 2 or 3 seconds to put the Torah down, and then you can say the blessing. Dick, I think you have to unmute if you haven't unmuted. or it's a very soft blessing. It's very sweet and soft, but we want to hear it. We want to hear that blessing. I'm going to lead us in the blessings, and people can join me afterwards. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach. Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. V'lo kam nabiot Yisrael k'Moshe, asher yid'o Adonai panim el panim, v'chol ha'otot v'hamoftim, asher shlach Adonai la'asot be'eretz Mitzrayim, v'par'ol ulchol abadav ulchol artso, ulchol hayad hazaka, ulchol hamorah hagadol, asher asa Moshe le'enei kol Yisrael.
Before we make the second blessing, there's a tradition at the end of a book. When you reach the end of a book, and especially when you reach the end of all the books, which we just did, the end of the 5th book of the 5 books of Moses, we are to chant the words in Hebrew, Chazak, Chazak, V'nit Chazek. They literally mean be strong, and we will strengthen one another. And boy, those are words that we need to say to one another tonight. We wish each other be strong, and let us strengthen one another. So Chazak, Chazak, V'nit Chazek, it goes like this. Chazak, Chazak, V'nit Chazek.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah. Amen. With the Torah out in front of us, Yesher Koach to Andrea's beautiful Torah reading. Thank you. With the Torah out in front of us, we take a moment just to shift our hearts and our minds, thinking about those that are in need of healing of spirit, healing of mind, healing of body. So if there's someone that you're thinking of in this moment that you have been carrying with you this week, we invite you to just take a moment to speak their name out loud so we can direct our energy and our thoughts and prayers toward them, and that we will also hold them with you. Going together on page 253.
May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
One of the blessings of our community is that we have so many teachers who are among us, whether it's our youngest learners, who it's so fun to see some of our religious school students here, whether it's those of you who have been teachers in our programs. I see a religious school teacher, I see a teacher in our adult B'nai Mitzvah program. It is so nice to have all of you here. And in Parshat Beresheit, after we read the end of the book of Deuteronomy, we immediately turn to the very beginning part of the Torah. This is our origin story as a people. And obviously there's a lot that is in here, but I think that there are two key messages that I have been thinking about a lot lately. The first is this idea that God created us b'tselem Elohim, this idea that there is a spark, a piece of godliness in each and every one of us. And the second is a famous line that Rabbi Chasen talked about in one of his High Holy Day sermons, Lo tov hayot hadam levado, which is that human beings are not meant to be alone. We're meant to be in relationship with one another. And we spend the entire book of the Torah trying to figure out what it means to be in relationship with one another. And one of the ways that we have been doing that at LBT during this unique moment is through our Bubble Up small groups. And these have really brought together so many members of our community to connect with one another and to study the Torah, not only of our texts, but of one another. And so we're going for our Aliyah to invite everyone who has been a participant of Bubble Up. And so if you're in a Bubble Up group, will you just raise your hand? And what if you are an organizer or a facilitator of a Bubble Up group? Would you also raise your hand? Amazing, amazing. And
now just raise your hand if you like bubbles. Like you like bubbles. You can raise your hand, and I like bubbles. It's good. So now everybody's raising their hand.
Likes bubbles, Rabbi Chasen. Yeah. So I hope that you all will participate in the Aliyah and to actually speak the words of the Aliyah. For the first part, we're going to invite our incredible rabbinic intern, Scott Goldberg, who has been a key presence in making these Bubble Up groups happen. And then you'll see for the second half of our Aliyah, we're going to have our other amazing rabbinic intern, Michael Lewis, who has been such a leader in our justice work on Prop 15. He's going to do the second part, and we're just grateful that you are part of our community and teaching your Torah. So, and then for our Torah reader, the best part is that we have Jim Sawyer, who is famous in our community for chanting the most beautiful Beresheit you have ever heard. So we're so glad that you are here, Jim. Take it away, Scott.
Jim, Mr. Beresheit Sawyer.
Too kind.
Barechu et Adonai Hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai
Hamevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz v'haaretz hayta tohu vavohu v'choshech al panei tehom v'ruach Elohim merachethet al panei hamayim vayomer Elohim yehi or Vayehi or, Vayar Elohim, et haor kitov, Vayavdei Elohim, בין האור ובין החושך, ויקרא אלוהים לאור יום, ולחושך קרא לילה, ויהי ערב ויהי בוקר, יום אחד.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Can we give a big Yasher Koach to Torah Andrea and Torah Jim? Andrea, it's not as good to like say, Andrea, Ms. Moses' death, Sussman. It's not as sexy as the other one, but both of them are classics in our community, delivering those Torah texts. That is something that makes us all feel right back at home. So Andrea and Jim, thank you. So we are going to make a transition toward the end of our service. We are going to conclude, beginning with the concluding prayers of Alainu, which can be found at the bottom of page 282. I invite you to stand if you are able for Alainu. Alainu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד. You may be seated. Some words to help us prepare for the recitation of Kaddish, words found in the online prayer book on page 292. When cherished ties are broken and the chain of love is shattered, only trust and the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of the heart. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear, but if we dwell too long on our loss, we embitter our hearts and harm ourselves and those about us. The psalmist said that in his affliction, he learned the law of God. And in truth, grief is a great teacher when it sends us back to serve and bless the living. We learn how to counsel and comfort those who, like ourselves, are bowed with sorrow. We learn when to keep silent in their presence, and when a word will assure them of our love and concern. Thus, even when they are gone, the departed are with us, moving us to live as in their higher moments they themselves wish to live. We remember them now. They live in our hearts. They are an abiding blessing. As we prepare to recite the Kaddish Prayer this evening, we remember especially James Bardis, Arthur Breakstone, Florence Donner, Max Fenster, Helen Friedman, Seymour Gantman, Marilyn Halpin, Ruth Hirsch, Hyman Jack Keston, Ned Kybell, Robert David Lazarus, Hannah Lewin, Jack Nissenbaum, Jane Ortner, Herman Pillars, Peggy Ransom, Norma S. Reif, Michael Rich, Arnold Rudin, Ronald Russell, Alexander G. Silberstein, Arnie Sperling, Gail Smiler Steinberg, George Solomon, Marguerite Virginia Steinert, Winifred White, Dakota Ziff. We say Zecher Tzadik Livracha, the memory of the righteous is an everlasting blessing. As together we give thanks for the blessing of life with the words of Mourner's Kaddish, found on page 294. I'll invite you to stand at this time if you're able. Ygadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'amad divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'isman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach ve'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitfa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yitalal, shemei dekudsha brechu, ve'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim Alainu, v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, u'ya'aseh shalom, Alainu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, amen. May the giver of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved among us, and let us together say, Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, u'ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, u'ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Now, folks, we would ordinarily, at the end of singing Oseh Shalom following Kaddish, be wishing you a Shabbat Shalom and sending you on your merry way to make Shabbat dinner maybe, or to enjoy Shabbat community with loved ones or friends, either in person or on Zoom. But tonight, because it is Simchat Torah, ordinarily Simchat Torah, we'd all be together at the temple, we'd be dancing with the scrolls. Instead, we did our dancing at the beginning of the service, and oh boy, look at all you people dancing in your homes. We've got the hang of this quarantine thing. If we tried that in April, you'd all be looking at us like, huh? No. But instead, because Simchat Torah fell a half a year into the quarantine, you kind of had your groove thing on. It was good. It was looking good. It was feeling good. So, we've done the dancing. Part's already taken care of. But usually we roll out the whole Torah scroll, we make a big giant circle and it fills the social hall, and we talk a little bit about what we can learn from the Torah, maybe in some kind of a creative new way that we haven't done before. Well, on this Simchat Torah Shabbat evening, for the very first time in Liobek Temple history, we are about to engage in Simchat Torah, Torah Trivia, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, show us the hands, give us the love. The Torah Trivia is coming, and here's the cool thing about it. The Torah Trivia has been created, directed, produced, and performed by the two unbelievable rabbinic interns of Liobek Temple, Scott Goldberg and Michael Lewis. If you don't know them yet, that's your fault. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. What I meant is, that's your misfortune. That's what I meant. It's a shame, but that's going to be fixed right now, because by the time we're done with our Torah Trivia tonight, everyone's going to not only know Scott and know Michael, but you're going to know how creative and entertaining they are. And I want to put this out there in advance. We rabbis have placed ultimate trust and faith in Michael and Scott, because we are about to participate in the Torah Trivia just like the rest of you. You know, they say, Price Waterhouse, they have not looked inside the envelopes. No one knows who won.